Yo, what's up, family? Hey, I heard you all. Y'all said break this down. So I'm going to break this down, man. I posted a video on IG and tons of requests like, yo, can you please explain what's going on? Hey, and I'm going to start here. I was heavily influenced by Mulgrew Miller. I mean, he's just one of my piano heroes. I mean, definitely a genius, especially with his harmonic expressions, man. But this video includes some chordal voicings. You might have heard like So What voicings, definitely popular by Bill Evans when he was playing with Miles Davis. Some diminished chords, some heavy diminished chords using the whole half diminished scale. We'll get into that. And of course, some altered dominant chords, man, when you have these extensions beyond the seventh, right? And you just manipulating the 11th and, you know, the 9 and all that good stuff. So, hey, let's just take it from the top. Get your pencil, get your paper. It's going to be a lot of practical things, but I'm going to give you a lot of theory as well. All right, so let's jump right in. Let's go. All right, here we go. Whoa, hold on, George, slow down. What are you doing? Right away, I'm taking this chordal voicing approach, right? I'm actually starting off with a chord that's called like a so what chord. This was, it's a part of the chordal voicing idea. This was honestly originated from Bill Evans when he was playing with Miles Davis on this moto tune called So What, hence the chord So What, right? And if it's played over E flat, now we're in the key of E flat, 3 flats, right? All right, so this is really going to be somewhat advanced, but y'all got it. But these chordal voicings is so modern, right? It's built up on fourths, 5 semitones. What are semitones? Half steps, right? So from this G to C, we see a fourth. C to F, we see a fourth. F to B flat, we see a fourth. Now, what makes it a so what voicing? Having this major third on top. Now, if we really look at it, if we took that D, here's an inversion of this chord. If we took this D and placed it down here, it's actually still, it's really a chordal voicing now. Like now it's made up of all fours. D to G, it's a fourth. G to C is a fourth. C to F, a fourth. F to B flat, a fourth, right? But all I did was take this D, place it on top. Now you have this so what voicing, which looks like without the left hand, it looks like a B flat chord. Second inversion, root position, first inversion, second inversion. Now I added that, the G and C on the bottom, right? Now you kind of have this upper structure happening right here, 2 notes on the bottom. Now, in my mind, I was starting on a 1. Like, pretend like I'm using E flat as my bass line. Now, typically, quarter voicing sound much better in the middle register of the piano. But I was trying something different. I was being risky starting up here, but I knew I was working my way down. Like, I didn't stay up here long. All right, so with quarter voicings, there's so many different approaches. So like this modal approach and then this tonal approach, right? And even in the modal approach, there's 2 different sort of styles in that. You have this parallelism and then you have the diatonic sort of approach, right? So this modal, modes, so Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian. You remember those stuff? Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. Yeah, so you building chords in that scale, right? We're in a key of E flat. So you have 2 approaches in the modality sort of way of quarter voicings. So you have you have parallelism, which is the same shape up and down, right? This, like, these are the same shapes. They just whole steps apart, right? So parallelism, and then you have sort of the diatonic approach, which is you just using sort of all the notes that belong, all right, in that scale. Yeah, this was more of the diatonic approach. So all of these notes that are playing belongs in this scale. And I'm trying my best to keep it. You come up with some nice chord voicings, right? So I challenge you to do both approaches, right? In the and especially in this key of E flat. Like, start here, because this is what we're working on. Then you have the tonal approach, which is the tonal approach is, it sounds more musical. Yeah, so modal approach, the modality of music is definitely ambiguous, it's open. There's really no tonal center. The tonal approach, there's going to be more of a get back to home base. Like, it's going to be some, like, this gravity pulling you somewhere, right? That's where now we have the dominant, predominant, and a tonic, right? We're going to get back to the tonic. We're going to have the 2-5-1s. Yeah, so that's more of the tonal approach. All right, so let's keep going. All right, check this out. So I did this. Now, in my mind, I was going from the 1-5-1. So this is actually, it played over B flat. Now it's a 13. Yeah, B flat. Here's the 13. All right, that's the 3rd. And the flat 9. So I'm doing this. Back to this chordal voicing. Back to E flat. Now it's an E flat 6-9. Now, if you played that first chord over E flat, it looks like an E flat 13, major 13, right? Because here's the 1, 3, 5. And since we have that 7th in there, and we have the 9 and the 13, we'll call that major 13 chord. All right, so now I'm getting fancy. Now notice this. Here's a tritone. So sometimes your chordal voicings is going to have a flat 4 in it. It's still some type of 4. So from F to B, it's a flat 4 or a tritone. From B to E, perfect 4th. Now again, I have this major 3rd up here. Yeah. And then I have this. But here's the crazy thing. Now I'm on the 5, right? As far as my melody in E flat. I want to kind of go down the scale. So you see that? But I wanted to make it sound more interesting, right? So that tritone makes it these two tritones, because the next chord has a tritone as well. When you hear chords like this, best believe a tritone is in it. Why? Because it's so dissonant. This dissonant voicing. George, what were you thinking? I was just actually having fun. Now, I've played these chords before, so they just came out, right? So what's in you will come out of you. So you got to really, I'm following now, at least the melody is a diatonic sort of approach. Now check this out. Chordal voicing. Now this is definitely, all of these notes exist in the E flat major scale. So now there's chordal voicing right here is like more of a diatonic thing happening, right? Because all these notes belong. And check this out. These notes belong too. So going down a whole step, half step, half step. Like, so now you got these. I could have went down all half steps right there. They're the same shape. So now I have this parallelism, like this sort of parallel approach where it's like the same shape, right? So start right here. Interesting voicing, interesting voicing. Perfect fourths, another perfect fourth. So I'm going, so from, notice the melody is still in the E flat major scale. Even that D on top. Now, I'm going down a half step. I could have did all the way down. You see how much fun you can have with these chordal voicings? So I just love this instrument so much. I'm getting away of what I'm supposed to be doing right here. All right. Okay, so after this, all of this stuff, I go to this next. Now again, these chordal voicings, again, there's a tonal approach and a modal approach. Again, tonality pretty much uses, and I probably should have said this, it's a functional harmony sort of aspect of music, all right? So like it's 2-5-1, right? The predominant is gonna lead to a dominant and dominant is gonna lead to the tonic, all right? So that's just a little theory for you, all right? So again, we have this. I start with a so what voicing. Again, 4/4, major third. Traditionally, music was built by stacking, thirds, right? Either a major or minor third. Chordal voicings, stacking fours. But again, this was the original chordal voicing right here. Bill Evans was so dope and just inverted it. And we call that So What voicing because of that tune, So What by Miles Davis. Y'all got to go listen to it, man. Expose your ear to all this kind of stuff. So we came from this. Just have fun with it. All right, George, what is this? All right, I am trying now to get to this B flat minor. I'm about to do a 2-5-1 to A flat. Now I did some stuff in between this 2-5-1. Now, what can lead me to this? Like leading chord, leading note to this B flat minor 7. It could be a diminished, right? So any minor chord, look at a half step below it and build a diminished 7th chord over it. All right. And then in gospel, not in just gospel and jazz as well. I know gospel musicians, we use this move all the time in this approach, this style called drop 2. Right? I'm taking this diminished chord, and what is drop 2? Take the second to last note in that chord and play it with your left. Now this diminished chord can be called 4 different things, and they all equal the same thing. That's why, I mean, I guess there's only 3 different diminished chords, all right? All the other chords are inversions of that first diminished chord. For instance, I'm playing this. Now, we could call it a diminished because I just told you to think of a half step below that target minor chord that you want to go to, right? A diminished is going to be the same thing as a C diminished 7th chord. And then C diminished is going to be the same thing as E flat diminished 7th chord. E flat diminished is going to be the same as the G flat diminished chord. All right, 7th chord. All right. Now I want to challenge you, if you're not used to this shape already or drop 2s, go up and down the piano and do drop 2s of this chord. And if you want to really make it interesting, now, if it was played over, which it can, or it could be, right? F7 flat, or an F, it'd be an F7 flat 9. Which makes, this is why music is just so amazing. This chord played over a different bass line, or bass note, I should say, changes the sound a little bit. What about played over D? Now it's a D7 flat 9. All right, I could go on and on about diminished chords becoming dominant chords, and I'll probably do a course on that as well, because this is just, it will open you up. I mean, seriously. So, all right, I went to that. After this, B flat minor 7, then I jump up here, so then go up here and make it a B flat minor 9, kind of just make it a huge sound. So, this is why I like solo piano a lot. And then I went here. So I'm doing a 2-5-1 to A flat. Now, this kind of chord right here, I love so much, and I use it a lot. Why? Because it has a flat 9 and a sharp 9 at the same time. I mean, it just, that's a big sound. Huh? E flat 13, right? Here's the flat 9, which is E, and then the sharp 9 right there. Of course, you got the tritone, G and a flat 7, sharp 9, 13, flat 9. Oh, and I had the nerve to put a sharp 11 in there. Now, people would say, George, sharp 11, why aren't you calling that flat 9? And they're the same thing. It's enharmonic spelling, right? Now, the sharp 11, if you call it a sharp 11, you're implying that you still going to use the 5. Now, I could in this case. If you said flat 5, now you're implying that the 5 is not going to be played, right? Because the 5 replaces the flat 5. But if you want to squeeze that B flat in there, you can. That's why we call it sharp 11. Just all for theory nerds. That's why. All right. So the difference between sharp 11 and flat 5. I'm getting sidetracked here. All right. But I told y'all I wanted to give y'all some theory. So check this out. Ooh, I could do that. Now my gospel is coming out. Now, George, what were you thinking when you did that? Because I saw a minor chord. And see, here's the thing about gospel musicians. I'm about to give y'all the tricks, the hints, the tips. We like to move in sixes, right? Either a minor 6 or a major 6. That just make things so much interesting and fun. Just routes. Now, I was already over here on this F minor. Now I'm about to end on this A minor. Now, you might not see A minor right away, but this is an A minor, second inversion, right? Root position, first inversion, second inversion, right? And I am actually using a F minor, root position, first inversion, second inversion. Now, I didn't play that in the original piece that I just was shading to, but it's so fat. Like, so I'm just changing up everything because I'm experimenting. Then I did this. Woo, now, gee, what? How you come up with that? So I'm sitting up here. We call these slash chords. Now, the reason why this sounds really almost scary, but very dissonant, very interesting, right? Definitely modern. It ain't that pretty, but played right and quick, it could be so dope. Now, I'm basing this off a diminished scale, all right? So this E flat, if we flat the 9, so there's a whole nother teaching again on diminished and dominant chords, right? And how you can use them as substitutions. And a dominant chord can become, it looks like a diminished chord if it's a dominant 7 flat 9, right? So we flat the 9, which we did, and we also sharp the 9, but let's just keep it simple. E flat 7 flat 9 looks like this. Let's take the root out now. That looks like a diminished chord. Diminished 7th. Now, if I use this, let's call it a C sharp diminished 7th chord, right? Now, if on a diminished chord, I'm going to use a whole half diminished scale. All right, so let's start on C sharp. Let's go up a whole step. Let's go up a half step. Whole step, half step. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Again, a diminished scale is an 8-note scale. Now check this out. In this chord, I see 4 major triads. I see a E flat, G flat, A major, and C major. Now just trust me on it. Trust me on it. All right. And now I'm using those chords now, keeping this tritone here, which makes it sound like that. Now, what also makes it sound dissonant is this G and this F sharp. Because if you look at it, it's a minor second apart, but it's the way I'm playing it. So you got this tritone and this, which is dissonant already. So you just have this dissonance. Yeah, makes it sound really cool, right? It's definitely adventurous. So I went to this. Now I'll go to this tritone substitution, right? E flat. Now if I wanted to throw another sort of point in there before we get to our destination, which is A flat, I go to this A. We call that tritone substitution. Now this is an A13 sharp 11, right? Now we're saying sharp 11 because we're implying that we could still use the 5. if I just want to make it sound big. Woo! And then go to this A flat major 7th right there. That's the major 7. Now, you hear this and like you hear that in music all the time, whether it's country, gospel, jazz, whatever. R&B, that augmented sound. Augment the 5, right? Raise the 5 a half step. So you kind of go to this A flat major, to this A flat major augmented chord, which you raise the 5, to this A flat major 6. And then I did some drop 2 stuff. All right, George, slow down. And then I did this. All over, I'm basing this on that A flat major 7. Drop 2. Drop 2, take that second to last note and play it in your left hand. And then I did. That's one of my favorite moves. It's like this. F minor 11, right? Well, you don't see the minor right there. That's what makes it a minor. But I'm doing diminish, so F minor 7. So again, grace notes. Then A flat minor 7 to this D flat 7 sharp 11, implying that we still using the 5, to D flat 9. All right, let me slow down. Notice how I'm playing that in my left hand. If you got this stretch, God bless you, man. This is definitely a competitive advantage because everybody don't have large hands. I wish my hands were a little larger, like Oscar Peterson, where he could just do like a freaking major 3rd above, right? Or you say a 10th, right? I think he could do 11. He might be able. Oscar was such a beast. Oscar Peterson, one of my favorites. And I could barely, depending on which note I start on, it's the shape for me. But if you practice it, then I think I did that. It's a bebop jazz kind of type of move right there. So, triplet. Another one. Now you could do something like this. Some other fun stuff using diminish / dominant. It's just some cool stuff. All right, let me not go overboard. Damn. Going to this. So I'm like from this going to this. Now this is straight Moog groove. So go to this D flat 6/9 chordal. So going to that C7. Check this out. I think I did this. Right? I probably hit that C7, flat 9, sharp 11, and then it's almost again without the left hand. It looks like a minor chord, which is cool. Da, 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 da. So, ooh. I just heard that. So I went down a whole step, then a half step. Now, if you look at it, it went from a C7 sharp 9, C7 flat 9, right? And I got the 11 in there, so C11 flat 9 to the C13. I'm just experimenting, y'all, on the spot. All right, so now F minor 11. Now it's E flat, add the 9. Check this out. A flat, major 7, and then I did this. So this is like a half diminished, right? Half diminished can be written like this, or as a half diminished, or a minor. Let's see, a minor 7, flat 5. So that's gospel all day. Now, because that's a C minor, I'm circling it. All about perspective. Now I'm moving in 6s, gospel. Circling that C, and I'm just looking at a 6 below it. All right, that's a major 6 part, major 6, major 6, major 6, all major 6. All right, major 6, minor 6, minor 6. Ooh, so. And that, ooh, if I keep that G up there, and notice that grace note. Then got that B flat 13 sus voicing. Now I got this 13, right? Flat 9. And then what did I do from there? All right, let's take it from the top. Let's see how far we can get. Oh. Ooh, so much in this, so much in this. All right, here's the thing, y'all. I'm going to keep going, but I'm only going to keep going for my exclusive members. Only going to keep going. So you got to sign up for my platform. I just gave y'all so much, even in that little bit of time. Even in that little bit of time. I just gave y'all so much, man. So I hope you enjoy that, man. If you want more, I'm telling you, all of my videos, man, which you have unlimited access to as long as you're a member, have substance like this. Like, no joke. Like, I'm digging in. We're talking about theory, some practical things, some exercises to take your plan to another level, man. So check out my website, georgegranville.com, man. I hope you enjoyed this, man. I hope it blessed you, man. But share this video, like it, let me know what you think, and let's grow together. All right, much love. Peace.